From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Less than 2 months to Election Day, Vice President Kamala Harris has a fresh lead over former President Donald Trump. I'm Naomi Ruckham with a closer look at new polling and what Trump said when asked if he'd run again if he loses in November.
Alrighty, it is 6 o'clock on this Monday morning, September 23rd, or first Monday of fall.
Yeah,
Matt?
you like to remind people of that, yeah?
Why not?
Yeah, boy,
spread
time
the word.
Just flies. Temperatures more resemble summer than
hot.
fall. Yeah, and
hot.
we're going to have some very hot days this week, pretty dry conditions. You look out this morning, our temperatures are all sitting into the 30s and 40s, a little chilly. There's a chance of a spotty shower or two. I don't see this as something that's going to be a difference maker for us, and generally pretty dry conditions expected for today. The day planner calling for daytime highs into the upper 60s and low 70s through the afternoon, both for Bozeman and Butte. The warm stretch continues. I'll break it all down for you in a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now, a sad update to a story that we've been reporting on for the past couple of weeks. A Livingston man last seen on September 3rd has been found dead. According to the Park County Sheriff Brad Bickler, 46-year-old Ben Hampson was found at a remote U.S. Forest Service trailhead in Park County yesterday afternoon. Sheriff Bickler says detectives are investigating the circumstances surrounding Hampson's death, but no foul play is suspected at this time. And a Butte woman charged with trafficking meth and fentanyl as part of a drug ring will spend the next 15 years in prison. U.S. Attorney Jesse Lislavich said 57-year-old Janet Dean White was part of a large drug ring that had a base in Whitehall. She is one of 8 Montanans and Californians convicted in a conspiracy that brought at least 13 pounds of meth and thousands of fentanyl pills to the Butte and Helena areas. And the nation's opioid crisis claimed more than 80,000 lives last year alone. But now help and funds are on the way to help fight the crisis. Over the next 17 years, Montana is receiving $78 million of a $26 billion national opioid settlement. But now the question is, what will the states and counties do with that money? As our Haley Monaco explains, Yellowstone County took the first steps of that allocation process, hearing from groups where those funds could make a big difference.
The amount of fentanyl in just one sugar packet is enough to kill 500 people, but that's just another statistic. Now, Yellowstone County has nearly $1.5 million to award to different organizations to help fight the opioid epidemic.
He was everyone's kid. We called him our golden child.
26-year-old Tyler Benjamin was born and raised in Billings. He was a father, a chef, and struggled with addiction.
He overdosed at our house on December 15th of 2021.
Tyler's mom, Jennifer Benjamin, says they moved Tyler back into their home just 3 months earlier.
We thought he'd be safe, but we had no idea that fentanyl was something he was using, or we would have done things so differently.
Understanding the heartbreak addiction can bring.
The drug is so powerful and so addictive.
Benjamin was present at a meeting on Wednesday supporting the Montana Meth Project as they asked to be considered for a $35,000 grant to continue pushing the one pill can kill message to kids.
For the longest time, we were really steadfast in a consistent message around methamphetamine and the risks that are associated with doing meth. But we felt that it was just too dangerous not to lean into this conversation.
In the first year, the Yellowstone County Metropolitan Region has over $1.4 million to grant to organizations.
Analysis, children who are either exposed to drugs in utero or exposed to...
It will have almost $1 million in each of the second and third years. Wednesday's meeting was to hear proposals. Another meeting will be held to vote on funding decisions, but a date has not been set.
We've got a plan for educating across the board, upping the awareness.
7 out of 10 pills that are being confiscated have been laced with a deadly dose of fentanyl. And again, the stakes are just too high not to warn kids about the cost and potential risks of experimentation.
Steps in the direction toward fighting a crisis too many have been hit by.
We had no idea how deadly it was and what a big problem it was in our community.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
And we're now just 43 days away from Election Day, and new CBS News polls show Vice President Kamala Harris has gained a slight edge over former President Donald Trump. Today, he's back in battleground Pennsylvania, while Harris is in Washington with no events scheduled. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham has more from New York.
Join me on the debate stage.
Vice President Kamala Harris urged former President Donald Trump to debate her again yesterday after she accepted CNN's invitation for a late October debate. But over the weekend, Trump declined.
The problem with another debate is that it's just too late. Voting has already started.
Indeed, early voting began Friday in South Dakota, Virginia, and Minnesota.
I'm voting for all the Democrats, every last one.
I voted this time for Trump.
It comes as new CBS polls show the vice president with a slight edge nationally and in the battleground states. Harris has also made gains with voters who say the economy is a major factor, now just 6 points behind Trump.
I'm going to be giving a speech this week that is really to outline my vision for the economy.
Meanwhile, Trump was asked if he thinks he'll run again in 4 years if he loses in November.
No, I don't. I don't see that at all. I think that hopefully we're going to be successful.
While campaigning in North Carolina over the weekend, Trump made no mention of GOP gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson, who's come under fire over inflammatory posts he allegedly made on an adult website. The Harris campaign is airing ads in an attempt to link the two in the must-win swing state. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
And Trump's running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, hits the trail in North Carolina today. When asked about the state's Republican gubernatorial candidate, Mark Robinson, in an interview Saturday, he said, quote, "Allegations are not reality," adding that the issue will play out in the court of public opinion. Now, back a little bit closer to home, a few weeks ago, we covered the Ennis Town Commission's attempt to remove Mayor Nikki Hawes from her position. Now, the chief of police is weighing in. The commission claimed that she had signed a contract without prior approval. The commission then hosted an illegally chartered meeting that was ended before any decisions were made. Since then, attempts to get a comment from the commission has been ignored, leaving the Ennis community in the dark. That is, until the chief of Ennis Police issued a statement on Facebook, alleging the commission acted without advice or direction of legal counsel. The chief's statements alleges an abuse of personal agenda by the commission and says Mayor Hawes and the community should consider holding the most responsible commissioners accountable for these prohibited actions under the town charter. And family and friends gathered in the Upgar Amphitheater in Glacier National Park on Thursday afternoon to watch loved ones officially become U.S. citizens. MTN's Sean Wells was on hand for Thursday's naturalization ceremony.
Glacier National Park was established by Congress back in 1910, a beautiful backdrop to become an official citizen of the United States of America.
Oh, I'm very excited. I worked so hard to do that. I'm here 8 years and I work hard.
Elitsa Petseva grew up a long way from Montana in Bulgaria. On Thursday, she officially became an American citizen in Glacier National Park with her daughter in attendance.
I'm very excited that she was all the time close to me. She was my helper all the time.
It took James Sanford from the United Kingdom 5.5 years to officially become a U.S. citizen. His family was by his side during Thursday's ceremony.
Oh, it's amazing, especially with my little 3-month-old girl, Millie, and in such an amazing place. I really can't wait for her to see the footage from this when she can understand what's going on.
James and Elitsa were 2 of 15 individuals granted citizenship during Thursday's ceremony. 8 home countries from across the world were represented, including Germany, Thailand, and Fiji.
The sense of opportunity, the sense of if you work hard enough and do things, you can really make dreams come true, and I think it's as true today as ever.
In Glacier National Park, Sean Wells, MTN News.
And if you're seeking adventure beneath the water, Flathead Lake is waiting to be explored. Known for its crystal clear waters and surrounding cherry orchards, this pristine lake has become a hidden gem for scuba diving enthusiasts. While it may not be as well known as, say, a tropical dive spot, our MTN's James Rowland shows us that Flathead Lake offers a diving experience unlike any other.
I'm
here at Flathead Lake, where I'm going to take you on an adventure beneath the water to see what lives below.
Flathead Lake, known for its crystal clear water and surrounding cherry orchards, has become a hidden gem for scuba diving enthusiasts. And while it may not be as famous as tropical dive sites, it offers an experience unlike any other. With depths reaching over 300 feet, this makes Flathead Lake deeper than the average depths of the Yellow Sea or the Persian Gulf, and visibility in excess of 100 feet. Scuba divers here get a rare chance to explore natural beauty of rocks and some lake fish. This Big Sky Lake is one of the cleanest in the world for its type and size.
Montana has lots of very, very clean, clear lakes, especially in the Flathead here. You'll see perch, bass, rainbows, some lake trout, or northern pike, but very glacier-like lakes, so there's not a lot of vegetation.
The unique underwater landscape includes boulder fields, sunken logs, and even remnants of early logging operations. While the water is cold, typically in the 50s or 60s during the summer, the clear visibility and calm conditions make it a diver's paradise. When we went diving at Flathead, we hit two locations. First, the Flathead Lake State Park West Shore Unit. Across from there is Goose Island, a glacial rock outcropping with hundreds of fish and amazing underwater boulders to explore. Across the lake in Blue Bay, stunning clear waters hide what many people don't know are there. There's several sunken boats right on the floor, specifically placed there to help provide housing for fish and a place for divers to explore. While the surface temperature of the water is quite a bit warmer, when you hit the thermoclines, it easily gets down into the 50-degree range. Despite the depth, the clear water allowed a lot of light to still come through. There's many places that we didn't explore though, including Somers Bay, which is known for a sunken ship and the old Somers Mill fire, much of which ended up underwater. Oddly enough, as the seasons progress, diving doesn't stop. While you obviously need a pretty thick wetsuit to make this work, it is an amazing experience and one that can only be found in Montana.
In Kalispell, I'm James Rowan, MTN News.
Talk about a cool opportunity.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh,
yeah, you got to explore the backyard,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's underwater.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to go below to see the real stuff. Now, before we head into a break, we were down below, but this story is going to take us up in the air.
Okay.
Specifically over to the Netherlands. Hundreds of paratroopers dropped out of a near cloudless sky over Heath in the central Netherlands to commemorate the 80th anniversary of one of World War II's most daring, ultimately unsuccessful missions. That was Operation Market Garden.
Interesting.
Matt. How incredible is that? There was actually a veteran there from World War II. He was a part of this mission. He was 20 at the time.
Wow.
He ended up getting taken prisoner over there. This is an operation where they dropped thousands of men behind enemy lines in German-controlled territory, and about 11,000 Allied troops ended up passing, ended up dying. So it was a...
I'm glad that they commemorate these things because we lose sight of the sacrifice and dedication and bravery that these men and women primarily showed.
Yeah,
Pretty
absolutely.
amazing.
Just a real somber, I guess.
Really is.
It's a very somber memorial, but an important one, to be sure. Now, we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, we're going to have a look at that forecast, some of your top stories coming your way, and we have a very special guest joining us on Montana This Morning. You're not going to want to miss it. All that coming up after the break.
Life